First off, before we get started, shout out your stuff. We have a special person with us today. Go ahead. Who are you?
Hi, my name is Jakephobia, and I do a podcast where I go around on VR chat and I meet random strangers and talk to them. Pretty much.
Nice. You have any links like Twitch, YouTube?
You can find the podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, YouTube, and wherever you get your podcast, really.
Groovy, nice. I'll let me see if you have a YouTube link I can put in the description. Do you have your stuff linked in your profile? You do.
I should, yeah.
Yeah, nice. Let me open that. There you go. All right. Got your YouTube for the video. And 317.
Very nice.
All right, let's get started. So, would you like me to say my question first, or do you have a question for me?
Go ahead. I like this dynamic because you do something very similar that I do, where you kind of do the same thing in your own way, in your own foundation. You know, where you're getting people's perspectives. Mm-hmm. And I think that's pretty rad.
Thank you.
Pretty rad.
I talk to a lot of people, and I'm like, you know what? I really enjoy this, and I feel like some people have something they want to share. So I kind of give them a platform to like say what they want to say. Sometimes it's silly, and sometimes it's serious, and that's what I really like about what I do.
Right.
It's fun. But let me get down to the business. Why I'm here. Obviously, other than to say hello, blah blah blah. Do you have any advice for someone who's feeling down in the dumps, just like a general depressive spiral?
I'd say that it's very easy to let dark thoughts. It's very easy to let what's going around you that's bad kind of stack up, right? It's easy to get swirled into these depressive thoughts, right? Mm-hmm. But I have a couple things really to state, and that is like the first thing really is that when you're thinking about these things, it's easy to get anxious. It's easy to be like, what the fuck am I gonna do, and all these different things, right? Yeah. The best thing I tell people, and I tell people this on the podcast as well, and that is that anxiety seeks certainty. And what that means is like when you're trying to think about things that either haven't happened yet, right, or things you just don't know about. Mm-hmm. And so when you can acknowledge that, it's easy to like the better you can acknowledge that, the easier it is to kind of like, all right, take a step back. Like, where are you right now, right?
Yeah.
And to be down in the dumps, like, people go through waves of emotions, right? It's easy to like get into these cycles of like, low self-esteem and all these things. I think the better you can understand that, like, life is a wave of going through things, right? You're going to be sad, right? But then things get good, and you're happy again, and that persists. But then things take a turn, something gets thrown your way, and you go back down. And I think the better you can understand that, like, all right, this is just what's in my life right now, right? This is not permanent. The better you can understand that, I think the better of a level head you can have and be content that, like, this is it. And that's something that I've learned fairly recently, in the past year, I would say. And, like, it's I mean, I know I'm kind of spiraling here,
No, it's
but
okay. It's okay.
um understand that life is a wave, and that anxiety seeks certainty, right? Like
Yeah.
these things contribute to how you go about life. So the more comfortable you can be with that fact, I think the better you can be content with where you are with things.
Wow. That was really deep. Thank you. Um,
Yeah.
I appreciate your input in this. So I've been told a lot of advice while I was doing this video. If I had to sum it up real quick, drink lean. If you're over 18, masturbate and forget about it. Um, do drugs. Fuck with a broad. Seek therapy. Friends are important. Do hobbies that you enjoy. And for some reason, I got chased by a bunch of cats that were trying to steal my money. So it has been a very interesting journey so far.
Right.
But off that note, do you have anything for me? Is there a question that's brewing? Maybe if you want to ask what I asked you, let's hear your input for a second.
What would you say personally that you have like gathered from everything, like from conversating with these people? Where are you with things, after collecting all this knowledge?
I have seen a lot of different perspectives and people actually going through the same thing that like they're trying to give advice for. I've gotten a lot of, believe it or not, people being like, "How do I give advice when I'm also down in the dumps?" And it's like what I do, obviously funny, haha, give it a shot anyways, but it's like makes me realize that like, hey, there's people out there who are on here and you think it's all just like fun and games and I'm in a good mood, but there are some people out here who's just like, I'm sad and I want to talk to people. And like from the people I've gathered, like people taking it seriously and not, it's just, how do I say this? I think it's good to be around people. I know some people don't like that, and everybody has a way of feeling better, but I really appreciate the people who are like staying out there and being like, hey, I'm in the same scenario. Here's what I can do to help you. And I'm looking at that and I'm like, that's actually really sweet. Like, I've gotten somebody who's like, obviously, how do I help someone if I'm already down in the dumps? And I was like, just give it a shot anyways. And they just kind of looked at me and went, it will be okay. And it's just like the words like that where I'm like, whoa. You can tell that like they wanted to hear that themselves. And it's really cool to see that. And of course, it's also like the funny stuff that happens when you mask that, like doing all of this not only made me understand that like, hey, there's people not feeling good right now, but also like the general, how do I say this? I love VR chat people because it's such a, like our community, it's such a grab bag of different and interesting people. And I just like love all of them so much. But to get to the point, what I've gathered is honestly, if I had to sum it up, do what you like doing. That was the most popular one I've gotten, and obviously seek therapy. But uh, doing what you like doing was my most popular one, and it seems to be like what people, how people get out of what they're feeling. And personally, I believe that myself. Like, what do I like doing? I like talking to people, and I like making videos. And it has, I actually have a story real quick. This is going to be a little personal, but I actually started this YouTube because I was ghosted by a girl I thought I was really going for. I went on a dating app. We talked a lot, and we were gonna go to the mall, but I was completely ghosted. And in that moment, I was like, obviously, it was like, it's so over. What am I gonna do? But I thought about it, and I was like, if to relating it to the wisdom, do what you like doing. So I was like, you know what? I like talking to people, and I want other people to laugh with me. So I started the YouTube, and it has been a wonderful experience so far.
I'd say do what you like doing. Like, you can't summarize it any better than that. You know,
It may be simple,
do
but
what you
it's
like.
just
Do what you like fucking doing. I don't know if I can curse on your podcast. On
you
your,
can
on
you
your
can cuss.
thing.
Sailor Mouth on the channel.
You can curse on mine too. I don't give a fuck.
Nice. Do shit that's fun. Like, I know it may be hard right
Well,
now.
not only that, but do like. I've talked to a lot of people like in a work-life balance, trying to figure out like, all right, what's the career I'm doing? And it's the same kind of thing. Like, take the steps to do what you want to do. Not even just like in VR chat, but like, what's the job that you want to do? Like, what's the entrance, to your career, and stuff like that. No, I agree. I agree with that a lot.
It's just like it seems simple, but I have gotten the most success from it. So, to just as a takeaway, if you are particularly feeling sad, even if it's something small, like eating your favorite food or drawing or whatever, I think that small step is really what you need to feel like you're gonna be okay.
Here's another thing I can add on to that too is like the hardest part for people to get into things that they want to do is the initiative. It's that first step, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't just end there. It's what's the next day look like? When's the initiative in the next day to do that, right? It's a disciplinary kind of thing. It's like every day it's you gotta get out and do this, until it just becomes part of your life.
And that's also another thing. It's the initiative is probably the hardest part of
It is.
people feeling.
Oh my god,
right.
it
It
is.
is so difficult. I know it. I come from it. The initiative, the start. But if you need to hear this, if anybody needs to hear this, just do it. Just fuck it. Whatever you're doing, if you're eating, if you're watching right now at work, quit right now.
Shia LaBeouf, just do it, dude.
Just Shia LaBeouf, just do it. Quit your fucking job and go out there and do what you wanted to do. If you wanted to ask that girl out or a guy out, fuck it. Just send it, okay? You may fail spectacularly, and there's a chance for that. There's always a chance for that for everything. But you'll never know unless you try. Albert Einstein probably said that exact same quote. Probably.
Really?
I don't Probably. Fuck. I don't know. Practically.
Albert Einstein said verbatim, Shia LaBeouf, just do it.
Yes. Well, other than that, do you have anything else for us?
Would you say that, like, doing this has been, like, I know you said that this girl ghosted you and stuff, but would you say that, like, doing this has benefited your mental health? Like, has gaining this knowledge helped you?
Oh, 100%. Like, I've been getting the knowledge from other people or from starting my YouTube.
Both.
So from the knowledge I've gotten from other people, it actually just like made me actually think about it. Like, these people are getting like really deep into it. Like, I had someone, if I can remember, they were like a Buddha, and they were like, not only do it for yourself, but also do it for the people looking down at you and for you, like spiritually, like do it for the dead. And I was like, whoa, that's pretty inspiring, at least for me. Like, I think about it, and it's like, I like the idea of doing it not only for me, but also for other people. I like being helpful, I'm going to be honest. And it's also just people being like, again, do what you like doing. It's that positive reinforcement that not only do I feel like other people can find value in that, but I find value in that myself. Even if I know
there's some phrase I heard recently that was like, you have to start the hope for it to fill the room, or something like that. I kind of forget, but it was something like that.
That's okay. I don't
Like
remember.
hope is not just given to you. You have to fuel the hope yourself.
Yeah. Um, but it's again, it's the initiative, other the people. Um, it's nice to hear advice, even when I feel like I don't need it now. I might look back at this video and just be like, maybe, obviously they're right, but I should take this more to heart. Like, this is stuff that can actually help me. And also, the funny people who make me giggle. Those are really important
Yeah.
too. I like
Oh my
watching
God,
my
yeah.
videos back sometimes because of just the funny shit I like was there for. I need to look back at this
You
stuff, but
listen. You can't be a content creator and not go back and listen to what you made.
yeah,
No one does that.
I don't
No
want
one
to.
doesn't go back and no one doesn't not go back and listen to what they've done.
Sometimes I'll
You
watch
know.
my own shit and be like, "Fuck, that's so funny."
Yeah, dude. Yeah, it's the same thing for me.
It's
100%.
I don't want to feel like an ego, but like, man, sometimes I'm like, dude, that is the best shit ever.
I feel like there's a difference between having an ego towards something and feeling like, all right, I'm so satisfied with how this came
I
out
did that.
with
That's
something I've created.
really funny. It's especially in my like video about wisdom, my intro. I love it so much. If you guys remember watching that, if you watched it, go watch it. With the frog with the hat that just says "I have uber autism" and zooming in on his face. I don't know how I got that shot, but it was gold. And I like when I was editing that, I couldn't help but giggle the whole time. Oh, I love it so much. You probably had a moment like that too on your podcast, yeah?
A little bit. Yeah, for sure.
Come on, there's got to be a moment you remember.
Let me think. Let me think really quick. Well, I haven't had anything that's like really like got a hit, But regardless of that, I mean, who gives a fuck about that?
Yeah, that's right.
I would say I've had a good handful of stuff like that. I've had really good talks with people, and I like when I go back and listen to my podcast, it's not about what I'm saying, it's about what the other people are saying. It's about like, I'm infatuated with these stories that I hear.
Mm-hmm.
I really like, there was this one about this guy who got in a really bad breakup and like moved. He was working in government, moved across the country. He just drove until he found a spot, that kind of thing. But on his way there, he was at a gas station and there was this stray dog that was like, coyotes were like howling around this place, like waiting for this dog to move. And this guy like took him in, and brought him with him. And now he has like this best friend. And like, there's that, and then there's like this other guy who he was running from the cops and like kind of wasn't really giving a fuck about it, but then like he was drunk, and because he was drunk he could like chat with these officers, and like he wasn't consenting for like tests and stuff like that. And now and he got away with it like in the best possible way, right?
How the fuck?
And then now he's like, he's married and he has a kid, and he has a kid on the way, and he has a business, and like just stuff like that. I love that.
That's so fucking cool.
Yeah, that's the reason, and like you, that's the reason I do this. Is like you hear all these people, and before I did this podcast, I'd conversate with people, and they'd share me all these stories. And I'm like, fuck, I wish I like could have this I wish I was doing this podcast way later than when I started
Dude,
it.
when I tell
things
you,
like that.
I felt the exact same thing. I felt the exact same fucking thing. There are moments
absolutely.
before I started these YouTube where I'm like, not only were they funny, but I said some fucking stupid shit, and that is the most hilarious thing ever. God, I wish I would just do it. And man, it has been the best decision I've made so far, other than getting a job. That's been pretty good too.
Well, let's hold on. All right, hold on. Let's dive into that really quick. All right, all right. Let's go into my section of shit. All
Oh,
right,
here we go.
'cause
Here we go.
you said this is the best thing you've done since getting a job. But what is this job that you do?
I like on the side. I'm a baker. I make bread and cookies. That's what I do,
Oh,
and it is probably the best fucking thing I've done. I've worked like 2 other jobs. I've been cleaning toilets at a fancy hotel and making pizzas. The pizzas were fun because I knew everybody and I'd like to chat their ears off, and it was my first job. 50% off pizzas that were fucking delicious. Cleaning toilets at a fancy restaurant.
there you
Have
go.
you ever flushed the shit from someone's unflushed toilet from a Raider? Like, the football team? I had to flush a
Nope.
toilet
Yeah,
that
yeah.
someone left unflushed from an official Raider, like, team member. And, like, I'm not saying that was one of the moments where I felt like quitting, but I definitely was looking at myself like, are we fucking serious?
Wait, okay, wait, hold on. Let's back up. So at this, you worked at a pizzeria.
Yeah, that was my first job.
You worked at a pizzeria, and you had the fucking, I forget where they are now. You had an Oakland Raider, the NFL team.
The NFL
fucking
team.
come in, and so one of these guys left a shit, and you had to go in and flush it.
It wasn't at the pizzeria. It was at this fancy hotel. I'm not gonna say the name, but it was at this fancy fucking
okay.
hotel, very bougie. And
Where are they? Where are they now? Los Angeles?
Las Vegas. They're in Vegas.
Las Vegas. Okay.
But I had to.
Fucking Las Vegas Raiders.
The Las Vegas Raiders flushed their shit off their toilet like they're a fucking baby. And then now we're already on the Raiders stuff. So
How do you know for sure that it was a player from the Las Vegas Raiders?
Because I had to. They let me know. Like, I had my cleaning cart and everything. I was about to go into my floor, and they were
They
like,
let
hey,
you know?
They're like, hey, by the way, no fucking photography, no asking for autographs because you're on the floor where all the Raiders are. And I'm like, are you serious? Look, I'm glad I don't care about sports, but okay. And let me tell you, these rooms were fucking insane. So first off, that room where I had to flush down the official Raiders shit, that was one of the things I had to do. So I was like, okay, this stinks. And another room, the TV mounted on the fucking wall was ripped off. The like cables coming down from the TV, ripped off its stand. And I'm like, what the fuck happened here? It's not my job to question it, but what? How did you? I get they're big, strong dudes, but what?
Yeah. So all right. So yeah, you were a hotel room. You were a room cleaner, right?
was
So
a
you were
room
going into these rooms.
Yeah.
So you would go into these bathrooms, and one guy left a fucking
fat
dookie.
log.
That's fucking good. And then yeah. And then, I mean, there's no way that like NFL players don't party hard. They do.
They do.
They're fresh out of college.
It's,
They're gonna do this shit.
Yeah, so they just leave dookies, rip TVs off walls, and then there was another room. They leave dookies, rip TVs off walls, and then there was another room.
What is this last room that you walked in?
It's not as like crazy, but I walked in and there was just how there's like that TV mounted wall, right? Hang on, I can actually draw it right now. There's that TV mounted wall right here. Here's the TV, and there's a little stand right here, right? So I'm gonna move back a little so the camera can see.
My podcast is auditory, so none of this is gonna work.
That's okay. It'll be in the video.
It'll be in the video.
But there are just piles of neatly stacked, more than I make in an entire year, cologne bottles. Just across the entire table. Just cologne bottles. And I'm looking at this and I'm like, probably all of these, like, I'm talking 15 of these cologne bottles, probably $50,000. Just what I make in an entire year. And I'm like, holy shit, I am a fly. I am nothing. Right? That's how I felt when I was cleaning shit and...
Oh, you got a little existentialism.
I got a little existential seeing...
Going through all this.
Seeing cologne bottles worth more than what I'm worth. So, I'm not saying that's all that contributed to me being like, I cannot handle this, but that was definitely, one fucking thing that little, and also, just
Did you snag one of these cologne bottles for
I
yourself?
just wait. I did not touch any of the cologne bottles. I feel like if I said it as a joke, I would be assassinated by an NFL branded bullet. So legally, no, I did not take any cologne bottles.
Bullet with the Raiders logo on it.
Yeah, both of the Raiders logo on it. I will say one thing good about the job though. This is fucking insane, right? I'm gonna keep talking about the hotel because it's really fascinating. Imagine a hotel, right? Just a standard, generic. I'm gonna draw it again for the YouTube audience. Just like a tall, generic looking hotel, right? Windows and stuff. It looks pretty. The logo, whatever. Underneath it all, there is this giant labyrinth of.
When you say underneath, you mean the base, like underground.
Yeah, underground.
The basement.
There's also,
Okay.
I will say, there's also a casino connected to this as well. There's also a casino.
It's fucking Vegas.
It's
Of course.
Vegas. There is this giant, like ants, like an ant, like fucking.
And
It's not ants, but like you know how ants make their homes and shit, tunnels and walls and shit underneath a mound. That was what it was like under the hotel, and it was insane. There's like these mini cars driving through the halls, like giant.
what?
Yeah. There's big auditoriums and shit. And one of the reasons why I bring this up is the food court. Oh my god, this shit would fire. It was this bougie because it's a nice hotel. This bougie, fancy for the workers, by the way, fancy place. I'm talking free self-serve sodas, free coffee, free microwave, a fucking lounge with chargers for your phone, big couches, and fucking people who cook food for you like a cafeteria on steroids. It was
And this is like attached to the hotel. This is like part
all
of the whole
attached to the
building,
hotel,
part of
under
the
it,
facility.
like a fucking
Okay.
fallout bunker. And it was the most luxurious I have felt being a worker ever. If you can handle cleaning shit, oh my god. And I'm gonna mention this right now. There was one day. The food's free, by the way. Let me just add that on real quick. Fucking free food, free refills, whatever the fuck you want. There was a day
Yeah.
where I got fried chicken for fucking free. Fried chicken, mashed potatoes, and gravy for bumfuck free, and
Right.
free and a free soda machine. And I just sat there as a king in that moment. I even took a picture of it like 3-4 years ago. I took a picture of it and I was like, I'm never going to get this ever again, am I? Like, oh my God. I don't know how they pulled it off, but dude, something about cleaning bedrooms for 6 hours and then going down there to hot fried chicken for fucking free. Peak. I'll never get that ever again.
Oh, I can imagine.
Oh, dude, it was amazing. But that's all my like little hotel rant.
Okay, gotcha.
That was the whole.
Holy
thing.
shit, man. Were you were 18 when you were at the hotel?
I was 18 when I was at the hotel. Yeah, I was a young
Gotcha.
lad.
Okay. How old are you now?
20. That wasn't even that long ago.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's recent. Holy shit.
I mean, I move fast. A lot of shit.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, everyone's got their own like comfortability in jobs
I just
and like in their own paces and stuff like that. And I get, and yeah, and like you're young, you know, you're 20 now. You're just fresh out of high school. You're a teenager still. You know, you're trying to do all this stuff.
Still moving
I get
around.
why you left.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, and you're figuring it out. This is the This is the workshop stage. You know, for you is just finding what you like, and then trying to pick a career based off of this. And yeah, but I like that you. I like that you seem like a hardworking dude. You know.
Oh, I put my effort in. I don't slack.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. That's awesome.
It's it's not just because I want to please the boss. It's one of those things with me where I'm like, if I don't do my best, I'm gonna feel like I didn't do my best, and that makes me feel like shit. I like looking at my effort and being like, I did that, because that's me. I take pride in what I do, and everything pretty much. And that carries.
That's good. That's a great work ethic. That's a great work ethic. I've been to Vegas. I know what it's. I know. I've seen it. You know.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy out there. There's a lot going on.
I have a whole fucking segment about Vegas, but I'm gonna save it. It's a whole thing. It's
Yeah,
a
that's
whole
fair.
thing.
That's okay.
Let's wrap it up here because this recording's long and I might have to make 2 videos. Last thoughts.
I understand.
Final
I was
thoughts?
just thinking that. If I can add on to the beginning,
Yeah.
about, you know,
What
how to go
advice?
through, you know, depression. And not even just depression, but anxiety. This might sound weird, but, you know, be comfortable in the uncomfortableness. I don't know if that makes sense or not.
Do something
But
that's
find
out of your
find
shoes.
comfortability in having an anxious feeling going into something you've never done, you know, and understand that naturally you're gonna feel that. I know that's hooking a fucking Yui and going back to everything, but
No, that's okay.
yeah,
Uh,
be comfortable, you know, trying something new. Be comfortable knowing that you're not gonna know it's gonna happen.
thank you.
If I could ask you, is there anything you'd like to say, Coco?
Yeah.
Before we depart.
I'd like to say it's been a pleasure having you. You seem like a good person to be starting a podcast. You seem easy to talk to, and I like your avatar.
I appreciate that, brother.
But other than that, thank you for having me. Thank you for sparing
having
your
me.
time with me, and that's it.
Subscribe to kokoVRX.
Bye bye, and then it fades, and then the audio cuts out, and then I get an outro.